Just told the guys in the locker room, especially a lot of the new guys, they probably wonder why we run so much and train so much and do the things we do. I think the guys that were on the team last year understand, why we play our style, why we train the way we do and do the things that we do. There we go.
Hey, Coach.
I'm sorry, Henry. I started without you.
Oh, man.
You have my deepest apologies, my man.
All right.
But I think even for the new guys, they probably haven't gone through something like this where the last 4 minutes of a game, we're able to kind of hopefully allow those things to kick in that we work on. It doesn't always happen that way, but fortunately tonight we had a little bit more legs, a little bit more juice for the last 4 minutes, and the depth and the way we kind of spread our minutes and just the style that we play fortunately allowed us to kind of break away there at the end and get a big win. It's a really good basketball team we beat. We've come a long way in the last 12 months here because last November and last December, quite frankly, we couldn't beat anybody. We were really struggling. So not that we've arrived. We have a long way to go. We're going to have a lot of work to do here over the next few days to continue to get better. But just to get a win against a good basketball team early in the year, I think just shows our progression as a program from where we were 12 months ago.
Coach, you tell them to trust about the running and about the last 4 minutes. Do you, though, have any doubts in a game like that where Iona didn't seem to be fading when maybe they should have been?
You know what? I thought our defense, outside of the first 8 minutes of the game, I think they had 20 points in the first 8 minutes. I thought our defense the rest of the first half, and I thought our defense the rest of the second half was pretty good. I mean, they shot 38% in the second half, 40% for the game. I thought, and I kept telling the guys, we can stop them. I thought when we got into half-court defense, it hasn't necessarily been our calling card, but it was tonight. We were able to really get stops. It was just offensively taking care of the basketball and not giving them easy stuff at the other end. So I think for us, it wasn't necessarily all about the style or whether I believed in it or not. It was like, let's just take care of the ball here and allow, hopefully, our depth and other things to kind of take over.
That pull-away stretch at the end, what did that show you or tell you about your team?
We were in a staff, I just told the guys, we were in a staff meeting, I think it was last night, and one of my assistants said, Coach, we are 3-0 right now, and you're walking around like we're 0-3. Like we had won this game, we had won the scrimmage, we had won the next one, and I've been really hard on these guys. And he said, Coach, at the end of the day, you're pointing out all the things we're bad at or all the things we're working on, but these kids are 3-0. Maybe you should give them a bit of a break. And same thing after this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to nitpick it, and we're going to get on them again, and we're going to keep grinding them. But they're finding ways to win, which is terrific because, like I said, we weren't doing that last year at this time of year. It took us a long time to kind of get that confidence about us. So Iona's a great basketball team, and to get a win like that against them is enormous for us.
Hey, Paul, it looked like it had to be a little frustrating even that there were times where you had the big three-pointer, the open shot that you just feel if this is the knockdown shot, the knockout
You're
shot,
right.
and it just wasn't happening, and then finally Dwayne knocks that one down.
Yeah, no, I think these kids play so many video games or just live in this culture where, hey, you get to press reset, you get to play again, and it's like, guys, one little mistake, it's going to be the difference. So, I've been much harder on this team than I was ever on last year's team, just trying to impress upon them the value of every single possession. And we had a lot of those where I thought we got ourselves to a good point, and then we just got casual with the basketball or casual with our defense or we're celebrating the previous play or whatever it may be, as opposed to just staying engaged. I probably said the word next possession 1,000 times tonight of just getting them into the next possession. So I think from that standpoint, I'm glad we pulled away at the end, but we need to be better in different games. We're not always going to get that run. We got to take the one we get and then try and hold it for as long as we can.
And Dane's shot was the one that seemed to
Yeah, really happy for Dane, man. You know, he's a kid that last year went up and down with his three, and I know every time he shoots it, he's probably thinking way too much than he should. So when they go in, you feel for him because he does every single thing right you want him to do, you want our team to be about. I'm not a huge plus-minus guy over one game, but he's plus 20 tonight. He defends, he rebounds, he moves the ball, and at the end of the day, he just cares. So when guys like that make shots, it makes you feel so much better as a coach.
You've talked in the past week about Dane and Anthony, the seniors, being the guys that were ready to go.
Yeah.
Tonight you get newcomer, Vance goes for 18 and 12, Corey goes for 18 and 9, but he also drew 8 fouls.
Yeah.
The two big guys over there that are waiting to talk to us, can you talk about their game a little bit, how much their development has come along?
Yeah, we won because of those two at the end of the day. Anthony and Dane, I don't want to say that they're unimportant, but I'm almost just, it's a given they're going to be able to give us something. So whenever Corey and whenever Vance can play the way they do, it's going to help us tremendously. I mean, Vance is a terrific basketball player, and Vance is highly decorated and had all kinds of preseason accolades, but the poor kid's played 1 year of college basketball, and I think every time he goes out, everyone's expecting him to get 40 and 20. And Vance is a kid, and he's still going through stuff. He's going to turn it over. He's going to have some bad possessions, but he's such a talented player. His ceiling here is through the roof. And Corey's the exact same way. I want to kill him sometimes, and I think he wants to kill me too. But at the end of the day, the kid's playing his tail off. I'm so proud of him because he's been such a talented kid throughout his career that's never really broken through. And everyone's always seen the talent in Corey, but he's never actually gone out and done it. And for him to be doing what he's doing right now is a huge testament to his maturity and his growth, in our program.
Specific to him drawing those 8 fouls, is that something you see him do in practice a lot of times?
We've talked about it really since the season began. We have size advantages, and we're trying to get the ball inside consistently. We talked about it going into this game. The only time I get mad at Corey is when he steps away from the basket and doesn't utilize. He's so gifted around the rim, and he's such a long, athletic guy. He's really hard to guard there. And the only time he lets the defense off the hook is when he starts to get off the lane and do kind of other stuff. So it's a process. He's a kid as well. Again, still getting his legs underneath him, but they're both terrifically talented players. And it's guys like him that are hopefully going to propel our team a little bit further than we were last year.
So yeah, kind of piggybacking off that with Vance, do you think he just kind of loosened up a little bit in this game? We saw, the potential and
Vance, like I said, Vance is a tremendous talent, and I think everyone just expected first game at Northridge he's going to score 40 points. And it's like, man, it's his first college game in 18 months. Like sometimes it just takes some guys a little bit of time and a little bit of feel to get their rhythm and their legs underneath them, and we're a little behind. That was kind of how we did this. We staggered our exhibition game, 3 nights ago. So our guys are still kind of getting caught up to regular season contests and opponents and things like that, and I think that serves us really well in the long term, particularly if we're stealing wins here along the way.
You guys had a pretty good stretch there at the free throw line in the second half, but struggled a lot of times throughout the night as well. Talk about the free throws and how you guys did a little bit of dirty work to try and find points other places.
You're going to have games like that. Last year we broke a school record for free throws, and I can honestly tell you we shoot more free throws than we did last year. It's something we take great pride in. It's something we've done a really good job of this year. Tonight was just one of those nights. I think for whatever reason, we just were a little out of sync there. We had some back rims go out. Those are the nights, and sometimes it's going to be a three-point line. Someone's going to be the free throw line, and that's where, fortunately, I think our defense and our rebounding is growing to a point where we can overcome some of those things that last year, quite frankly, we couldn't overcome.
A lot of Lobos want to take the big shot
Yep.
when it counts. What do you say about that?
We got great shooters. When we come down in transition, there's very rarely am I sitting there going like, I don't know. We have McQuatch on one side, we have Vance on another, we have Anthony Mathis with the ball, we have Dane Kuiper. That part of the reason we play the way we do is so we can get out in transition and give some guys some really good looks at the rim. And it's encouraging because I think we can shoot it even better than last year. And last year was obviously a terrific offensive team.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
What did you think of the atmosphere?
Atmosphere was terrific. All 10,188. Thank you, and God bless the Lobos.